So sales tax and food. With the help of my horrifying blue people. So the things we're going to talk about today. One, you're going to need to register for a seller's permit with the California Board of Equalization in order to pay sales tax. Two, although food is generally exempt from tax, in other words, generally you don't have to pay tax on food, food that is heated or ready to eat is taxed, so if you're operating a food business, like a cafe, you'll probably need to pay sales tax. Okay, so more on the seller's permit. Who needs it? If you're engaged in business in California, meaning that you have a cafe or a food truck, or even just someone selling food on your behalf in California, or you're making sales for a temporary period of less than 90 days. So if, let's say you just have a stand at a farmer's market for a summer, you're still going to need a seller's permit. And again, you get that from the Board of Equalization. How do you get one? Why, it's easy. You can do it online, actually, at the Board of Equalization's website. By the way, this is on page 32 of your manual. You can find links to this information, links to the Board of Equalization. So do refer to that. You can use their e-reg tool to e-register your business and get a seller's permit. You can also go in person if you prefer to do that. I know forms stress me out. I like to actually talk to a person. So you can do that. It's actually a couple of different places in the state where you can do that, but there's one here in Oakland, right on Clay Street. You can give them a call to that 800 number, and again, this information is in your manual. What kind of information are you going to need? Well, quite a bit, actually. That's why I recommend that you check the BOE's website ahead of time. They have a pretty comprehensive list of stuff that you'll need to collect, including your anticipated sales and tax, some information about your bank account, some information about your suppliers, that sort of thing. And they also have another item, which is and possibly other information. So what does this mean for you? Well, you do need to get one of these before you start operating your business, but probably after you've had some time to crunch some numbers and make some predictions. By the way, there's not a fee for this, but they might be a security deposit in case you don't pay your taxes eventually, which I know you're gonna do, so that's all good. Sales tax and food. Once you have your seller's permit, you have two main obligations. One, to report and pay your taxes, and two, to keep adequate records, like Janelle was talking about. There's a pretty good chance that you'll be audited at some point, and you definitely want to have those records on hand so you can make that process really easy and simple. It's just making sure that you're paying the correct amount of taxes. In Alameda County, sales tax is 8.75%. San Francisco County, it's 8.5%. If you're going to be operating in a different county, you'll want to find out what that rate is for you. Okay, like I said, food is generally exempt from tax. It's considered a necessity of life by the legislature because obviously it's necessary to live. So food that's for human consumption, generally the blanket rule is no tax. The legislature has also specified some specific foods that are not taxed, right? Candy, snacks, bottled water, not taxed. For combination packages or food to go, there are some specific rules about how much it's taxed, or depending on like how much of the combination package is actually food, might determine how much tax you pay on it. So again, keep those adequate records, keep that information separate, because you could actually pay less taxes if you have adequate records. Food products that are processed by the consumer. So that's my attempt at drawing grapes. If you're selling grapes so that people can make wine from the grapes, then you don't have to collect sales tax on that. For certain institutions like schools, medical facilities, or religious organizations, you may also not have to pay tax. Again, all on the BOE's website, so you can find that on page 32 of your manual and go from there. However, there are some exceptions to the rule, and foods that are taxed, right? Generally foods that are not a necessity for life, like beer, wine, sodas, dietary supplements, vitamins, minerals, those are gonna be taxed. Food that's in a heated condition, so like my plate here of chicken and peas, that would be taxed. There's an exception though. if you're selling hot bakery items, hot beverages, coffee for instance, you don't have to collect sales tax on that. If food is served as a meal, or it's sold to be consumed at or on the seller's facilities, even in a parking facility, you'll have to collect sales tax on that. So, you know, like a drive-in burger joint, you'd have to collect sales tax there. Or if you're selling food for consumption where there's an admission charge, like a concert or an amusement park, something like that, again, you're going to collect sales tax there. Okay, so quick review. My buddy here sells fresh fruits and vegetables that the customers take home to eat and cook. Is there sales tax on this? No, absolutely, right? Because remember, the blanket rule is that it's exempt from tax, right? This is not a meal. It's not consumed on the premises. It's for preparation at home. All right, but my other friend sells burgers, falafel at a farmer's market. People eat it in the parking lot while it's fresh and hot. Does he have to collect sales tax? Yeah, that's right. It's heated condition at or on the seller's facilities, parking facilities, sales tax. Okay, so we'll end on this note. Remember to register for your seller's permit with the BOE, the California Board of Equalization. And remember that food is generally exempt from tax, but there are exceptions that you need to know. Thank you.